Today, I have the pleasure of talking to you about an incredible woman whose contributions shape technology we use every single day. Hedy Lamarr rose to fame in the 1930s and 1940s as a prominent figure on the silver screen, starring in old films like Ecstasy and Samson and Delilah. However, behind the spotlight, Hedy was fascinated by science and technology, something many people at the time did not know. Her ingenuity and brilliance led to her invention of the frequency hopping technology. Hedy Lamarr, born Hedwig Keisler in 1914, was the only child in a wealthy family in Vienna, Austria. Hedy's father, a bank director, instilled and helped foster in his daughter a fascination with science and technology. Despite receiving, at the time, a typical debutante's education of piano lessons and ballet lessons and equestrian classes, Hedy's natural curiosity and ingenuity propelled her further toward the science of engineering. At a young age, she would take long walks in Vienna with her father, where he would explain how cars worked, how electricity worked, how certain machines were powered, and she said that these long walks really heightened her curiosity towards science. Even though Hedy wanted to be a professional engineer, that was not a career path available to young girls in the 1930s. Instead, she entered the film industry, working as an actress by day, and by night, tinkering and problem-solving at her home engineering table. Hedy was a true inventor of her time. She did not have a deep education, and instead she learned and made connections with the world around her, designing very creative solutions to practical problems. Her acting talent, her beauty, and intelligence all combined to help catapult Lamarr to the international stage in the 1930s and 40s. At the beginning of the 1940s, the Nazi Party in Germany was rapidly gaining territory in Europe. German U-boat submarines in the Atlantic Ocean were sinking crucial loads of war supplies being shipped to our allies. A solution was required that would tip the balance of power in the war from the Axis powers back to the Allies. Thus, music composer George Antheil and Hedy Lamarr got together and began combining their knowledge of machinery and music to develop a radio-controlled torpedo that could resist the Axis's ability to jam radio signals. Drawing on a mutual love and understanding of the piano specifically, they began playing music together, hopping around the keys in sync. The two could clearly hear and understand what keys needed to be pressed and needed to be pressed next. However, they thought, and they theorized, if someone listening did not know the song, they wouldn't be able to tell what keys would be pressed next in the sequence. This led to them theorizing that a signal could actually be hidden in the constant changing of frequencies. In music terms, the Nazi U-boats could easily jam a single radio frequency, but would not be able to jam a constantly changing symphony of frequencies. Thus, Hedy coined the term frequency hopping for her approach. When Lamarr and Antheil proposed the idea to the Navy, they weren't even given a chance. The Navy rejected their invention, but gave it a patent and kept it labeled as top secret for the rest of the war. Though Hedy and George went back to their day jobs, their patent would later be given a second life. During the Cuban Missile Crisis, a solution was needed to overcome the Soviet signal jamming of U.S. warships. An electrical manufacturer used their patented frequency hopping to build secure systems for U.S. submarines. Further, in the 1970s, car phones became very popular, and carriers used frequency hopping to enable hundreds of callers to share a very limited spectrum of frequencies. This technology was also replicated in the earliest cell phones. Frequency hopping became so important, in fact, that in the 1990s it became a technology standard by the U.S. Federal Communications Commission for secure radio communications. Today, we see frequency hopping in our communication systems like Bluetooth and Wi-Fi and GPS. Despite such a monumentous invention, Hedy Lamarr did not receive the credit that she deserved until the late 20th century. In 1997, she received the Electronic Frontier Foundation Pioneer Award. Her story is unfortunately not uncommon. Many contributions made by women to science and technology are hidden by gender stereotypes and sexism. Lamarr's legacy proves that beauty and intelligence can combine to make beautiful science and innovation. Next time you connect to the internet, use a GPS to get somewhere, or are listening to music through some wireless headphones, think about Hedy Lamarr and how her invention made all of that possible.